How's it going here, future voters of Sean Gannon, yours truly, the future president of the United States of America. And we got a beer review of the Bass Pale Ale, the world's first pale ale right here. Now this one here was tricky for me to find information online. It's owned, I believe, by Anheuser-Busch now. But they don't really have much on their website really describing it. So I had to go to some other websites here. And it tells us an ABV of 5.1%. But it is the first pale ale. Now, brewed by William Bass and companies Merrimack, New Hampshire. British beer, I guess, tradition there. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but they said Anheuser-Busch owns it. Now, I have had a Bass Ale a few times in my life. Many times, actually. So, I've already done, or I've had this beer, so I know what it tastes like. But one thing I will say I do love about this beer, and I generally only appreciate it when I'm at the beach. That's every time I go to the beach is when I'm like, oh, I can have some Bass Ale. It'd be a great thing for the beach. And I don't know why I don't drink it year round more. But it's a great for the beach, and I think it's because it's not that hoppy of a beer. So let's go try it out. Yeah, I mean it's a malty, refreshing, light dish beer. Not too hoppy and perfect for the summer. I mean, most of the time in summer you just want your light beers. You get your Miller, Bud, whatever. Sometimes you don't just want that all day. This one, you know how a Miller Lite near the end, it gets kind of, if you let it get warm, it doesn't taste as good. These taste good all the way through. But it's just a malty, not very hoppy pale ale. And I think, it's been around for a long time. And it's not, I don't know if it's classified as a craft brew, but I think it's a forgotten beer. I think it's something that people lump together in the categories of like your Millers, your Buds, your Coors. But this here, I think it had a great resurgence. But maybe it was branded a little better, marketed a little better. But a Bass is a solid beer. It's a good beer. When did it start? 1777? It's an old beer especially back then. Man, this is a decent tasting beer for recipe. It's a good beer. So anyway, malty, not very hot. Like you can't taste any hops. Good amount of carbonation in there. But not too much, just a decent amount. Easy. Almost feels like it's not a light beer, but it's like medium. I guess at 5.1%, it's not too alcohol content or too high there. It's a good beer. So if you're looking and you have somehow never tried a Bass Ale, an easy drinking beer that's semi-light, not hoppy at all, this is the beer for you. So I'm going to give it my score, and I'm going to go enjoy this beer on a hot day. For what it is, I think I'm going to give it a 4.0 out of 5. That's going to be a little weird, maybe, especially those who are all into the craft beer craze. Gotta try to have a craft beer out there. But this is a solid, decent, good beer, and it's not too expensive. So if you're looking for that, something you can't go wrong with, if you don't want to go too expensive, Bass Pale Ale, world's first pale ale is for you. So like I said, 4 out of 5 here, and I will see you next time. This is Sean Gannon here, signing off.